On this channel, we're going to be offering you hair care, hairstyles, and tips. Please remember to subscribe.
Real curly video. I'm going to moisturize her hair, and at the same time I'm going to just do a little style or two with this hair. So let's start. Truly dry, you cannot just use water with it. You have to use some softening ingredients to keep the moisture much better than the water. When you do use the plain water in the hair, you use that if you have a lot of products already in the hair. That's what you do. You just don't use water unless you have products already in the hair to loosen up the products. But if the hair has just been washed, water is in there already, so it's good to use something with a little bit of instant conditioner or moisturizer in it as well first. And again, it depends on your hair because there's all textures of natural hair. So I'm just using what I have here, but if I do more naturals for you to do, I will have more different products for the different texture of natural hair. Remember, there is fine hair as well that is natural. Not everybody that is natural, and there is people with different textures of natural, 3 different textures in the hair. It can be at the back, it can be at the front, so it all depends on the hair itself, how you apply the products. Okay, and that's why we use so many different products. There's some people that don't like certain products. They go to the health store. If that works for you, fine. And so I'm just telling you what works for so long and for so long and for so many natural hair. I'm just telling you that. So this has some shea oils in it and coconut oil, and I'll use this. I'll just spray some moisture in it as well, because keep in mind, I'm working with a very dry hair. I do not think this one is so dry. There is some that is so dry, your hand, you can feel it with your own hand without even looking at it. And of course, I don't believe in just spraying on the top. I tend to go inside, so I do use a lot of products for your first wash. You gotta use a lot of products. Again, it depends how thick your hair is and how the hair is. This is not the tightest of curl hair. This is not the strongest of curl needle. This is just an in-between one. So it's not that easy to manage a little bit more, because we used to manage them with a little S-curl or a texturizer, but now we're leaving them, some people is leaving them completely natural. And I believe that some customers should use a texturizer even on a certain part of the hair, because you're just constantly getting breakage no matter what you do. Okay, I'm going to try to moisture it. I don't have the correct cream here, but I'm using a little bit of the hair oil system, and I'm getting in the hair. I like to get in the hair. Of course, you're going to do the scalp, and then I get into the hair. I go with less strands and I clean that up. It takes time, but after your first wash, you need to moisturize good. So you go in there and you get in there and you get in there and you get in the hair, you get inside the hair, you get between the curls, the waves, the ends. It takes you a half an hour, it can take you more, depends on how thick the hair is. And you keep going like that. Some people, again, don't want the hair too greasy, too oily. You can't have it all. I don't think you can. You can use different products, but this is the start of products for the hair when the hair needs it. It's thirsty. It needs it. It needs it. It needs the products. You have to buy the ones that will work for you. I'll probably get some and try to get that for you. You need it. You need it. And we go on and we moisture, and we make sure the ends is moisture. As you see, this one here needs a little trimming. So you see the long strands coming out, you just take your time and trim them. Don't be afraid when you lose some hair, because it's natural. It only gets serious when you lose hair, when you lose it in the scalp. Okay, but it's natural to lose some, to have some shedding. It's just natural. So there you are with some moisture in. I mean, you couldn't You can use the mousse after if you want, and if you want to use a lighter texture product, that's fine. But there is a difference between that side and this side. But then you know when it dry, or if you want it to dry more, like more puffy, you start using the blower with it like this to get it more puffy. You go underneath and you take your time, curl that you want. If you have a certain texture here and you have some curls in it and you want to keep the curls, you just keep the blow dryer safe underneath like that, and you just make sure you can put a net on it and just dry it. And there's other attachment can be used. You don't just dry it out wild like that. If it's up to you again, the style you want and your hair. But I'm just telling you, just dry it gentle underneath. Just dry underneath gentle and let it set. Then after it's set, you can probably dig into it, play into it, do what you want into it. So that's for some natural hair. Some doesn't have any curl pattern. Some has none. Some has curl pattern and some don't. So that's what I am suggesting here. Then if your hair is, say you have an area that is a bit thin, you wouldn't put as much moisture on that. You would keep some instant conditioner on that, because keep in mind, one product sometimes does not work for the whole hair. And okay, now if it's a 2 days old or 3 days old, guys, it might becomes too much if you keep adding product. It will. So you're going to use water this time. No conditioner in it, water, and wet it up to lubricate it. You know, if you fuss it up like that, you know what you're going to get. So you're going to tenderly water it, water it, water it. And you will see the product loosening up. Then if you want, you put some mousse, or if you want to put a little certain type of gel on the end. I don't suggest anything drying. I hate the dry stuff on it. You'll agree with me that you have seen water put on the hair and it just runs off. It doesn't stay. So that way you know that you have to get some moisture in to grip it, because you will notice that some natural hair, the water just falls right off. It doesn't stay in. So you have to keep wetting it and wetting it and wetting it for it to stay in. There is so much more tips I could give you on that, but I'm going to do some styling, and I hope that you do try these methods, and I know it will work. I'm doing a little style here for the front. I'm going to run a little elastic. Not every natural hair I recommend certain elastic, but they're just doing the little style. So I'm getting some ponies around the hairline.